all of you for coming. Just a brief background about how and why I'm here before I introduce the gentleman that I'm going to introduce to you. After playing 10 years of professional basketball, having a wonderful time, being healthy, I was introduced to mineral and vitamin nutrition. I had taken a few vitamins before, but thought I really didn't need anything. Thought I was fine and healthy and had played 10 years of sports, a professional basketball player, and I started to take the nutrition and found out it made a marvelous difference in my life. Now, I was very mad at the gentleman named Phil Oliver who introduced it to me for waiting so late because I had already retired. I said, Phil, I could have made millions more if you had introduced this to me earlier. But he told me all about Dr. Wallach and why mineral nutrition was so vital. Did some research, got an opportunity to meet this man that had done so much research for so many years and had not only done the research so that we could read it and learn about it, but so we could practically take it into our own lives and let it empower us and our families. That was about 15 years ago when I met Doc. And I've been traveling with him and taking the products. I'm a very big fan of it, and it's impacted my life and so many lives of countless people that I've met and that many others have met all across the world. So we kind of formed this family, and I'm glad to have you all as a part of it, glad to have Brandy and all of you to be here today. Now, Doc started work, as you know, Doc has a background that's very diverse. And Doc is very good at many different things. Of course, you know, he grew up on a farm where he had to learn about animals and what they eat and how to keep them healthy and so that they're productive. And so he took that and went on to college in Missouri and studied agriculture and became a veterinarian. And later, of course, Doc became a pathologist where he did all of these studies and traveled all around the world with Mutual of Omaha and learning why animals die, why humans die, did autopsies. So he learned to approach the problem from many different angles. And I think that is part of a solution in life. Somebody once said if your only tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You know, so but if you got a lot of different tools, you probably see problems in a lot of different ways and solutions in a lot of different ways. So Doc did a marvelous job of taking all of these solutions of counteracting diseases and illnesses. Of course, he was a physician for over 12 years. He's an acclaimed author, a speaker, and has done so many wonderful things as an entrepreneur and a business person that has made all of this accessible to us. And it really started in Atlanta years ago. Doc was doing a lot of work on cystic fibrosis. He was working at Emory. He was doing just a lot of phenomenal, groundbreaking work. So Doc did a lot of wonderful things outside of the loop that he was in. But now it's kind of coming back full circle. And he's been rewarded a very prestigious award for his work in selenium and all of the things that he's done to keep us healthy and impact all of our lives. And I'm not going to take up very much more of your time, and I'm going to have to leave very shortly. But I did want to take this opportunity to come and introduce you to Doc and let you know of our long-term relationship for over 15 years. And I'm very proud of the award that he's won. And we're all very fortunate and blessed to be here and have an opportunity to share this time with him. I don't know of anybody more knowledgeable of health and nutrition than Dr. Wallach. And I always like to say, after playing 10 years of NBA basketball, there's only one doctor I know better than Dr. J. And y'all know Dr. J, of course, who I had to play against for all those years in the NBA. And he was awesome. But this is the only doctor that's better than Dr. J. Let me present to you Dr. Joe Wallach.
Thank you so much, Mike. And I really appreciate that. Man, to be competing with Dr. J. Okay, appreciate that. Appreciate all the kind words from yourself. And like Mike says, we've been working together for 15 years, not only in the Atlanta community, but the world. And so it's been a great thing. So at any rate, just to kind of complete the story that Mike started for you, as he pointed out, my background is different. I have a degree in agriculture, and in animals we don't have health insurance like we do for people. So we had to learn how to just get rid of the problem. There was no stringing things along over time and paying for what we call palliative treatment, where you just treat the symptoms. We had to get rid of the problem because agriculture is an economic industry, no health insurance for animals, right? And everything comes down to, as Mike said, again, production. More weight, more volume of milk, more eggs per pound of feed. That's the only way you could survive in the agricultural industry. So we became very interested and very knowledgeable about nutrition and how it actually prevented as many as 900 different diseases and could triple lifespans of animals as opposed to pharmaceuticals and surgery. The situation was during the 1970s, actually was part of a big National Institutes of Health grant, which is called the Center for the Biology of Natural Systems out of Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. And I was actually in Africa working on a big conservation project with white rhino and elephant. And because I was already a comparative pathologist, I had written the first scientific paper on a mass die-off in the United States from pollution. And they were interested in finding out how much pollution had to do with the causes of disease. And I was the only guy who'd written a paper on it, so they called me back out of Africa to be the essentially the scientific director and the pathologist on the project. And I was supposed to do autopsies of zoo animals that died in the big zoos around the United States. What I found out was that every animal and every human being who dies of natural causes dies of a nutritional deficiency disease. And the book that came out of that's 1,200 pages. It's in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure, so I'm very, very proud of that work. And in my movement around, as they moved me around, because some zoos didn't have certain animals. In fact, they moved me from St. Louis to Chicago because the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago had whales and dolphins and porpoises, which the St. Louis Zoo didn't have, so I had to work with the whales and things. And then they moved me out here to the Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta because of all the different primates. They had all the different types of monkeys and great apes and things. And they wanted me to work on that. And to make a long story short, I accidentally ran into something I'd never seen before. Turned out to be cystic fibrosis in these monkeys. The most significant accidental finding in laboratory primates in the 20th century. The information got to Dr. Schrauser, who's the head of this organization that has given us this award, and I say us because it's been a team effort, including all of yourselves. The 2011 Klaus Schwarz Commemorative Medal. Now, this particular award has been given for 28 years, every year for 28 years, to international scientists all over Europe, China, Asia, Africa, South America, the United States, Canada. And these scientists are all MD, PhDs. They're all from the National Institutes of Health, the FDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture. I mean, this is pretty heavy stuff. I'm the first veterinarian and the first naturopathic physician to get the award. Okay, so I'm proud of that. This is what we're building this army for. The FDI Longevity 90 for Life Crusade. And if you listen to the radio program or if you get online and listen to the streaming, you'll hear me talk about this 90 for Life crusade to save America through saving our kids.